one. This is the third time I've tried to do this, so I'm extremely aggravated. But essentially, we're gonna be doing what if Izuku Midoriya. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this. Give me a minute. Okay. What if Izuku Midoriya? If you couldn't hear me before, what if Izuku Midoriya, could use what was that noise? Fucking fine, as it should be. Okay. So Izuku, pretty much, is technically a quote-unquote reincarnation of Tatsumi. I'm gonna say Akame and Tatsumi were together instead of mine and Tatsumi. Yeah. So I'm just gonna change it like that. And I'm gonna say they all died. Tatsumi and Akame. Akame's personality was split between a pair of twins. Like a pair, like two different girls. One was, her more playful, haha, funny, side. While the murderous intent one was sent to another one. Although there's still a little bit of both in each one. It's like her personality was perfectly split into 4 parts and then shed between those two. So like half of her funniness, like half of her like happy-go-lucky emotion side, and like half of her, oh, I'm about to annihilate you and everything around you side. And Tatsumi's just, he's like, he forgot everything. So did Akame, because they're being reincarnated, technically. And they're sent to their respective bodies. I'm going to say that Akame's personality is split into Mirako and a girl, ironically, named Akame. And I'm going to say that their, color schemes are exactly the same. Hello. I'm making a video. I had to remake it 3 times now. Alright, I'm gonna go to my room. Hold up. Oh, almost fell. Hold up. Anyway, Izuku is really just kinda. Izuku is, I'm just gonna say that instead of the guy that Deku tried to protect, it was Mirako and Akame. You know what? No, Akame still got her whole personality. It's just that the, I'm about to murder you and everything around you side hasn't shown up yet until she awakens her Imperial quirk. And yes, that's what Imperial arms are gonna be called. And yes, they still are around. Although I'm just gonna say that. The Murasame, the one-hit kill sword, can be changed to it's a one-hit knockout sword instead of a one-hit kill. And the, incersio armor that Midoriya is going to get, yeah, it's completely different. It basically can, give the user, in its base form, it pretty much multiplies the user's physical prowess by, like, 100,000, I guess? That'd be 10 million. 100,000. And when, and he can change it to where it's like, maximum speed, maximum durability, maximum strength. If he goes maximum reflexes, bro, he turning into Ultra Instinct Goku. He ain't being touched. And he can specify, like if he's using his base, he can change out. He can minimum, maximum. He can like manipulate how much energy, how much that certain, like say he wants to stay in his base, but he wants to go a little bit faster. He makes himself like a little less durable or a little more, less reflexive. Like, there's some people that can catch an or like a knife, and some people can barely catch like their phone after they drop it. Yeah, he pretty much goes from being able to catch Mach 3 ninja stars. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but he's gonna be that broken. Anyway, so basically, Izuku is seemingly born without a quirk. Anyway, so Izuku is while he's protecting them, his quirk awakens. incersio, like the key to incersio, kind of like appears in the ground in front of him, and when he grabs it, you know how Tatsumi is kind of like in the anime where he has like horns and like the cross eyes. You know, it's pretty much like that. Oh, I pray to God. Hold on. No. Let me talk about whatever. I just have to hope it doesn't do that. I just have to pray. Anyway, so Izuku. Pretty much, you know, he doesn't really beat up Bakugo. He just kind of warns Bakugo, you know, if he ever makes fun of them again, he's gonna rip his head off. And it's like, we're gonna do a time skip. I'm gonna say Bakugo, you know, stays the same. I'm gonna say that Midoriya, you know, Akame, and Mirko were all transferred to a different school because of that incident. And I'm gonna say, you know, because I'm just gonna say that since you know Deku uses some kind of bullcrap, you know, mind manipulation powers to pretty much say like, hey, you know, mom and Akame's mom and Mirko's mom and dad, you know, maybe we should stick to being in the same school. And like everyone's like super convinced, but like they're like, yeah, you know, that makes a lot of sense. I'm just kidding. He just lets off a giant murderous aura, and everyone's like, "Welp, I don't want to die." So, yes, they get this from a kid. Yeah, it's horrifying. Anyway, so Mirko develops her personality. Akame develops her personality a little bit more, you know. But when she's around, she's kind of like I don't want to say it. I really don't. She's not. She's okay. So basically, she's like Ice Queen. You know, she's like a female Todoroki, like jacked up on like the Ice Queen levels, around literally anyone else. But when Deku walks into the room, you know, her personality does complete 180. And Mirko is pretty like in a similar way. She's pretty similar to how Akame is like. But when Midoriya walking into the room, you know, they both like, oh, hey Midoriya, instead of being like, you know, like when anyone else walks in the room, they don't even acknowledge your existence. When someone's talking to them besides like a teacher, they're like, go away. And they're like always super like agitatable. Like someone accidentally, you know, jokingly started talking crap about Midoriya. Yeah, they were in a hospital. yeah. Midoriya lucky. Midoriya real lucky in this would've. Also, if I may ask something of y'all, for literally anyone who's going to watch this, because I doubt many people, not really a whole lot of people watch my videos. And I've come to terms with the fact that I'm probably never going to be able to even reach 100. But, you know, for anyone that is subscribed, or is planning on it, you know, after they see this, they're like, maybe I should stick around and see what this guy can do, you know. Leave a like, subscribe, you know, comment down below if you want me to do like a certain what if, because I don't have a Discord yet. Actually, I do have a Discord. Yeah. Alright, I might post it in the description. I might. If I don't, I'll do it in the next video if I forget. Some of my friends are on there. You know, I do Among Us. If y'all want to see some of that, well, you know, like watching this video, you know, Among Us playing in the background. I don't know how to do that, but still, it'd be pretty cool. I might be able to. You know, I only have a phone, and I'm not very technopathy. Anyway, so no. Anyway, so, and Izuku's personality is a lot similar to Tatsumi's, and he's like a fusion of Tatsumi's personality and Izuku's personality. Like Tatsumi from the anime and Izuku's canon personality. Yeah, it's like a mix of those two. So whenever Mirko and Akame are like screwing with him, he just kind of starts freaking out, like, go, leave me alone. And I'm just gonna say, when someone starts talking crap, you know, his personality goes from, you know, happy, nice, you know, good lucky, like, when he smiles, it's a supernova. Kind of like Eerie when she smiles, you know. Because, you know, he's just that innocent. To, like, you know, you looking into the void, and it's staring back. It's like, I'm gonna rip your soul out and shove it. I'm gonna rip off your head and like, force feed it to you. And like someone someone did make fun of them, and Mirako and Akame did get a little sad because they only we must protect Midoriya. They got the must protect Midoriya vibes, and like Midoriya was like after school, the guy disappeared mysteriously. He's just kind of gone the next day, and then like a few days later on the news, he was brutally beaten with like 5 inches of his life. Within inches of his life. Because I'm just gonna make Midoriya that kind of person. Because it'd be hilarious. Like, they don't know that they're doing this for each other. Midoriya doesn't know that they like him. And they know that Midoriya likes him. They know Midoriya likes them. So they kind of like to screw with him. They were like, one time Mirko was like, hey, so if you were to date one of us, which one would you pick? And Midoriya's head just kind of did the steam, teapot thing, where his face turns red, and he kind of like blew a gasket, and he was like, and he just kind of vanished. Because I'm gonna say he can, because I'm gonna say he can turn invisible for convenience sake. I'm just saying he can. And they're like, where did he go? And they like couldn't touch him because he was masking his presence because he was like so embarrassed. So I'm just gonna say, since he masked his presence, he was like completely intangible and invisible, so like nothing could touch him. No one can touch him, but he can still touch stuff and mess with it. Izuku kind of like walks, runs away, and he's like, leave me. He's like, ah. He's freaking out. And then Mirako and Akame start giggling. They start laughing. I'm just gonna say, I'm also gonna, I know what I'm about to do. I'm gonna say they're still in elementary school at this time, so it's just play love. But then they have to move away. They have to move to like where Shinketsu this jurisdiction is. So if they do go to like a college, I'm gonna make UA college because why not? I'm gonna copy Aizawa Sensei. He's a very popular YouTuber. In my opinion, he has 1,000 subscribers. I'm one of them. I've been around since he had like I think 200 maybe. I feel bad for saying that, but still, I've been watching his videos. Honestly, his Cheated On series is my favorite. The All For One is like my second favorite. Not gonna lie. But and if he somehow finds this video and is watching it, bro, mad respect, I appreciate you. You were one of the people that inspired me to, start doing my own what ifs. I doubt he's gonna see this. Oh well, if he does, hello. If he doesn't, I'm kind of sad. It's okay. It's okay. But anyway, I'm gonna just time skip again. I'm gonna say Mirko, Akame, and Deku kind of forgot about each other. People started calling Midoriya Tyrant. Because if you make Midoriya mad, the Tyrant in Incersio gets mad. And then it's like, alright, Midoriya. And then, his personality kind of shines over Midoriya's. For a little bit. And then when Midoriya calms down, it's like, Tyrant's like, ah, crap. I can't say no to this kid. He's just a 7-year-old. And Tatsumi is just chilling. He kind of like, he's kind of around, and he's like, what the heck, Tyrant? You went this way when, me and you were working together. And then Tyrant says, bro, listen, you were okay. He is a cinnamon roll. I cannot say no to a cinnamon roll. And then Tatsumi's kind of like holding this, like, oh, my feelings. I'm just playing. But for real, that would be hilarious if that's what happened. I'm making that happen, I'm just saying that Tatsumi and Tyrant can't talk to Midoriya, but they have some influence on what he does. But Tatsumi's kind of like not existent. Like a few months after he transferred back into his old high school, what's his name? Tatsumi had to pass on. Kind of like Akame, so they kind of reunited in heaven, because I believe in all that. I believe in like God and stuff. Y'all allowed to have your own thing. I don't really care. But I'm still gonna say that they leave like a piece of themselves in each of the kids. I guess the best way to put that. I don't know if I put that correctly. That might sound a little weird. Anyway, kind of like you know how All for One for All works? Like, you take a piece of their DNA. It's kind of like a piece of their spirit stays within the new kid's spirit, the new person's spirit. So they're destined to end up together again. All three of them are destined to end up together again. So I'm just gonna say Bakugo. It's the end of the high school year. Bakugo's there. Everybody's kind of there. They just kind of forgot about Midoriya. I'm gonna say like one or two people that kind of stalk Midoriya because they on that weird. It's not Mirako and Akame. It's not Mirako and the new Akame. No. Just two random chicks. No. Ooh. You know what? I'll make one. I'm gonna make one Invisible Girl. I'll make the other one Ochako. Cause I can. And you ain't telling me otherwise. You ain't. Nuh-uh. No sir. No sir. Anyway, so Izuku notices them and he's like, I don't have time for this. He notices them every day and he's just kind of like, whatever. And they think they slick. They think they slick. But by the time he's like a few blocks away from his home, he's like, alright, I'm gonna just disappear. And then he vanishes. And like, where does he go? Like, how did he do that? Is that a part of his quirk? Or something? They don't even know that he has an Imperium quirk. Which is, I'm gonna say that there's only one Imperium quirk user, in every like 5 million people. Like 10 million, actually. I'm gonna make it that rare. Yeah, it's for every 10 billion, not billion, 10 million people, only one person in 10 million people has a small chance of getting an Imperium quirk. If they lucky. If not, they just get a really powerful quirk. So everyone thinks that All Might was supposed to be an Imperium user, but he just kind of wasn't lucky enough. Midoriya is gonna be, absolutely shattered Imperium user. Don't get me wrong. All he has to think is like incersio. And then the armor comes on, that's all I gotta do. Alright, continuing. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Don't yell at me. And comments like, be like, hey, this kid doesn't know what he's doing. This is legit my first YouTube channel. I've never done this before. Like, come on, give me some slack here. So, pretty much, Bakugo, he starts talking that crap. And Midoriya stands up, and Akame and Mirako, they didn't notice Deku. I'm just gonna say, like, because everyone thought they were the coolest, because they kind of showed off their quirks a lot. Midoriya hardly ever showed his off. Like, never. Actually, yeah, he never showed off his quirk. So everyone just assumed he was quirkless. When Bakugo starts talking that bullcrap, Midoriya stands up, and Bakugo's like, oh, what's the quirkless wannabe gonna do? Midoriya looks him dead in the eyes, and, you remember that aura that appears around Tatsumi when he's fighting Wave? Yeah, that happens, but it's thicker. It's thicker than a sneaker. It's like a massive red and black aura appears around him, and, like, I'm gonna say the head of Tyrant just kind of appears behind him. Just kind of like breathing like a bit of like a black flame. With like all of its eyes locked onto Bakugo. Everyone can see this, mind you. And Midoriya, just his horns sprout out. Like Tatsumi's. And then his eyes get the crosses that turn red. You know what they do. Midoriya says, calm down. He starts calming himself down. Akame and Mirako are like, where do we know that from? They're like, they don't even care. They don't care. It ain't scary for them. Because they know they've seen it before. But they don't remember where. And then they realize, oh crap. And they says, and Mirako jumps up and is like, Izu? Midoriya instantly stops. Right as he jumps up and says this, he was about to punch Bakugo in the face. May I say something? When he's like this, he's as strong as he is when he's wearing incersio. So yeah, that would have been like a 10th. That would have been like All Might at 100%. in his prime. Punch. Yeah, I might give Midoriya one for all, just to throw that extra punch into Bakugo's face. Like, ha, I have an Imperium quirk and the #1 Pro Heroes quirk. Boom! In your face! Just because I want to do that. I really want to. And I'm also going to say, you know, that Tyrant is whole. Like, you know how Wave kind of has, like, a Tyrant-related armor? Because, you know, Incersio is the prototype to his armor. Grand Chariot, you know. I'm also going to say, like, that giant robot castle emperor thing. Yeah, that's also, like, a part of, Incersio. I'm also going to say Incersio ate them, for some reason. Like, Tatsumi, while he was in his dragon Incersio form, ate them. Just because. I can. So, Izuku, right? Right before he says it, right before he hits, Akame and Mirako say, Izu? And Izuku freezes. You know, the aura is still around, but Tyrant just stops. Like, he stops, like, heavily breathing black fire. And then he disappears. The horns shrink on Izuku's head. His eyes turn back to normal. And his hair turns back to normal. Because I'm going to say, when he gets like that, his hair turns, like, a reddish black. He looks over at them. He's like, what did you just call me? And he says, how do you know that name? Akame's like, is that really you, Izu? I thought we'd never see you again. And Izuku's like, how do you know that name? And Mirako and Akame are like, it's us. He says, Mirako? Akame? And then, you know, all the desks get instantly moved out of the way. Like, everyone's like, oh, okay, this is T. So they, not, you know, right as Bakugo is, like, frozen in place because he's so scared. You know, someone picks up Bakugo, you know, kind of like a cardboard cutout. They pick up Bakugo and they're like, okay, let's move him. They start moving the desks. And I'm like, okay, go. Because I'm going to say one of them froze them in place with, like, some kind of time manipulation quirk. And they just kind of run at each other. And they get into a really big hug. Like, all three of them are crying. And, like, the teacher's like, brings a tear to my eye to see them reunited. To see people, long-lost friends reunited. And Kirishima, I'm going to say Kirishima's there. And he's like, so manly. He's like, so manly. Midoriya, after freaking out for a while, after, like, crying his eyes out, you know, it's near the end of the day. It's like, where have you two been? I haven't seen you in so long. You didn't say anything before you left. I'm like, sorry, we had to go somewhere. Our parents forced us. We didn't have a choice. And he's like, whatever, we're together now. That's all that matters, right? I'm gonna say, yeah, that, like, Midoriya's dad. I'm gonna combine what if that I was planning on doing with this one. I'm gonna say Midoriya's dad was trying to marry him off to a whole, like a whole bunch of girls in America, because I'm gonna say, you know, his pro hero name is Blast, and he's the #1 hero in America. America! And Midoriya knows this. And I'm gonna say because of that, everyone found out in America. I'm gonna say that Mirako and Midoriya were put in danger. Not Mirako. Mama Midoriya. Inko. And Izuku were put in the crosshairs of a whole bunch of villains. When, Inko died, you know, Midoriya, he kind of broke inside. So he was like, I'm tired of dealing with people. I'll never use... You know, he's like, I'll never talk to him again. And he's been trying to make it up. He really hasn't. He's just trying to make his company more powerful. You know, corporate douchebagness. You know, corporate douchebags be corporate douchebags. Let's be honest. You all know the feeling. I was trying to cut something out with a piece of plastic I randomly found. Anyway. So he's like, everyone is like, okay. And he's like, and the teacher's like, get the rest of the day off. While I was trying not to cry. And everyone's like, okay. They're all trying not to cry. Bakugo's still frozen. He's like frozen in place. He's like, oh god, I just seen death. I just stared death in the eyes. I'm gonna say because of that, him and Bakugo are like cool now. Cause Bakugo didn't know he had a super powerful quirk, and everyone found out like at that same day that Midoriya had an Imperium quirk, and everyone's like, oh, that makes sense. And why you didn't tell us? Sorry, I was chewing on something. Anyway, so I'm just gonna say the sludge incident doesn't happen because I'm also gonna say that All Might. Okay, he didn't beat All for One, but I'm gonna say his time limit is like 6 hours. He hasn't beat All for One yet. He needs the help of Izuku. Because, he's the #1 hero in America's son. For convenience. He's like, I need this kid's help. I'm just gonna say that, they're all three of them are walking home. Uraraka and who did I say? Invisible Girl? No, I'm not. No, I'm not making an Invisible Girl. Nope. Who do I not want? Who is not cool in my book of cool anime characters? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Ochako, but I'm just gonna make it easier to where she's just technically dating Bakugo, but she likes Deku more. I'm just gonna say that she cheated on him with Bakugo. And that was the greatest mistake of her life, the worst mistake of her life, because these two girls just coming up out of nowhere. They look good. I'm just gonna say that they look good. Mirko's fit. Mirko's fit. So is Akame. They something else. They something else entirely. I'm also gonna say who do I want? Oh, Bakugo. No, not Bakugo. Mineta. Yeah, Mineta. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. Mineta's like, why couldn't that be me? And Ochako and Mineta are like, we gotta get rid of those two. And Mirko, Mineta and Ochako. Sorry, I'm a disgrace. I burped. It was disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do it again though. Mirko and Akame are like, you notice they're following us, right? And Izuku sighs. He's like, yes, she has been following me for a while now. Don't know what he's doing. And they're like, wait a minute. A girl's been following you for how long? He says, for like 5 months. Since the beginning of the school year. Why? And they're like, we gotta do something. He's like, no. Let the problem solve itself. And then he touches them both on the shoulder. They all disappear. They can still see each other. Like, why are you touching us? And they're like, what are you doing? And he says, don't move. And they're like, why? Because I made you invisible as long as you're touching me. Sorry. I needed to cough. So, Izuku, is walking them to his house. They're like holding hands because, he needed to keep skin contact with them. Like, he has to touch, like, their bodies or whatever in order to keep them invisible. So if he, like, touches their heads, they can turn invisible. But in order for them to be able to move, they kind of have to hold hands. Yes, I am doing this already. So he brings them to his house. He brings them to his house and says, alright, master bedroom's over there. If y'all both don't want to sleep there, my room's over there. I'm going to go sleep on the couch. And they're like, wait, why are you sleeping on the couch? And he's like, couch is my best bet. Plus, I don't want to mess with you two. I don't want you two to feel uncomfortable. And they're like, okay. I'm just going to skip to the UA entrance exam. I'm going to say that they're all not in the same training ground. Like, testing ground. I'm going to say that, they all got a different testing ground. Because, they went to the same high school. They have to have a different testing ground. And he's like, finally, I get a break. Because after those 10 months, they were always constantly been not really bothering him, but they've been, asking questions like, how has he been? He's been an amazing host. And they just kind of, like, technically live there, I guess you would say. And they just kind of walk around. They just kind of, go shopping occasionally. And, yeah. I'm going to end this part off after I finish the entrance exam. No, wait. Yeah, Mirko. I'm changing it a little bit. Mirko and Akame are in the same testing ground as Midoriya. And he pretty much says, alright, good luck, you two. See you in UA. And he kind of just disappears after President Mike says, go. And he's already racked up at least 100 points. So I'm going to say, like, they have a special indicator on the robots now. And they have, like, a wristband on the students to keep track of which ones they destroy. Because every time one light goes out, and the wristband is located closest to it, like within melee range. Not really melee ranged. Depending on their quirks, it changes how far the distance is, and it knows which one is which, just because. So, yeah, basically no matter what they do, it's like, say someone's trying to leech off of somebody, yeah, it's impossible to leech off of anybody in this. Anyway, so it's pretty much impossible for Aoyama to do what he did in canon. So, Izuku's already racked up at least 100 hero points before the 100 villain points, or attack points. Before the zero pointer comes out, I'm gonna say he's like, I don't want to deal with that. And he's about to turn and walk away when he hears Mirko and Akame scream, help! He turns around and he sees them. He's like, y'all about to make me act up. And everyone's like, what? Nezu, what do you think you're doing? You best stop that zero pointer before I completely destroy it and everything else. And Nezu's like, bet. Over the intercom, he's like, bet. And Izuku cracks his neck and he's like, incersio! He says it with such a malicious tone that he's like, you know he meaning business, brother. My eyes are vibrating with every word I say, and it's weird. I don't know why they're doing it. Alright, they stop. Alright. So, like, Midoriya, he's in full attack mode. So he just kind of, not full attack. He's ooh. I'm going to say, by saying Tyrant, I'm going to say he's a Tyrant. When he said Tyrant, he activated his trump card. He went full, like, he turned into pretty much Tyrant. But with, like, armor plating, kind of like you see in the picture. I wonder if you can still see the picture, even though my phone's off. Because it'd be pretty boring to see, only inky blackness. But then again, you listen to what ifs. You don't really watch them unless it's like animated or whatever. And I don't think anyone does animated what ifs. If you do, you're cool. You're pretty cool. So, Izuku, he goes full berserker mode. And he straight up annihilates the zero pointer. Like, he turns it to ash, and he turns the ashes to ashes. And then it falls down. I had to do it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had the moment, and I did it. Okay, I ain't taking it back. And it just dissipates. It turns into nothing. And Izuku kind of like flicks the boulders off of the both of them. He picks them up. After he shrinks down, he like picks them up. I'm gonna say he can only hold that form for a limited amount of time. He's like, dang it, Nezu, now I can't activate Incersio for at least another hour. Because I'm going to say, he was using Incersio just to flex on everything. Because it makes him, like, 100 times more powerful. Like, 100,000 times more powerful, like I said at the beginning. So, if he's already insanely leveled, when he get mad and he activates his trump card, brother, do you know how many people there are on the planet? Yeah, quadruple that and turn that into a power multiplier, and that's how strong Izuku gets. Yeah! No. Octillion that. Not octillion. Octify that, I guess? Like, multiply it by 8? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm not good with math terminology. So, that's how strong Izuku gets when he's mad, and he's in Tyrant form, and he was in, I'm gonna say they can activate it before he turns on Incersio, but it's weaker. It's, like, a little bit weaker. It's, like, a lot weaker. But when he has Incersio on, it gets, like, I'm gonna say no matter what, he's chilling in a gem in the chest, which makes it a little bit more vulnerable. But when he's wearing Incersio, the Incersio armor pretty much wraps around the, Tyrant body, turning it into, like, a giant, how when Tatsumi first put on Incersio? behind him was like that thing. Imagine that, but actually, just imagine the thumbnail. That's pretty much what he looks like. Anyway, so Izuku saves them. He like picks them up. You know, he throws one on his back. You know, no, he's carrying them both princess style. Cause I'm gonna say he can do that. He's like, he put both their heads right next to each other and held both of their legs and was carrying them both princess style. And he's running. He like super quick boy. He's like, boom, yo, and he's like, and everyone's like, dang. And he's trying to find Recovery Girl. He's like, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Because he knows who she is. I'm gonna say that, you know, All Might introduced them. Because, you know, no. I must say that if anyone got injured, they told him where Recovery Girl would be. He's like, where is she? You know, he's starting to get mad. So his horns are starting to spike out. You know, his hair's starting to turn black. You know, his eyes. You know, they doing the whole thing. He's starting to get the aura. And he finally finds her. He's like, heal them now. And she's like, okay, Sonny, I'll heal them. When they have enough stamina, I'll fix them up. Until then, I can just supply first aid. He's like, I don't care. Do what you can. And that's what I'm going. And they, you know, they're perfectly fine. They're just kind of hurt because they were trapped under rubble. And we're fighting beneath two giants were fighting above them. So that's why I'm going to be ending this part off. If you want a part 2, you know, I need like three likes. Like 2 or 3 likes. You know, if I can get that, I'll make a part 2. And I might cover, I'll cover the USJ from after the practical test. Yeah, I think that's the one where I was like, hey, yo, if you don't score high enough, you know, you leaving. So Izuku, yeah, all the way up to not the US Sports Festival, the USJ attack. I'll cover everything up to there. It's gonna be a long video, trust me. It's about to be good. It's gonna be good. All right, that's all for this time, guys.